today, na the 26th day of April 2022. Tomorrow by now, we go there now. We go there now for waiting. For celebrate Salone in 61 and also discuss where did we go wrong. Then get forget a webinar. We go stream and back now. But for today, the eve of we independence, Mr. Khan, the interim chairman of Teachers Solidarity, he be there this morning at AYV because they give the government of Sierra Leone an ultimatum for 21 days. Say they need the government for step up. They needed them for waiting. Repeat after me. Step up. Because waiting do teachers then they na Salone right now we still they receive below 1 million leones. We will go say na like $85. Teachers then they na Salone where they receive below that. So then give different things them where they expect the government for do. Well, then we don't pull them press release. AYV feel to say they need for call them for can talk. I mean, Mr. Can at the station. He can't talk. He talk all the way to get for talk. Salone police be the wait for an ado. As he come on ado. I know la. Back home. They arrest him. Nado. Outside AYV building. So people let me get Salone not get freedom of speech. No, Mr. Khan will be there inside there. They allow and let talk. Not to inside there then go Utam say then Jack and come on and do say well for that you talk with the So the freedom of speech day. Now the freedom after speech. Now the problem. So I think say now then don't need for work on the next on the next constitution they try for fix. For say freedom after speech. Because if they say freedom of speech, then inside it then they go meet him, then as he talk with him, then go pull an ado. The police they wait for an ado. They say talk no more. You they done. What you doing? Now the campus for go. Well, 98.1 then I be customer to that one day. 98.1 I be customer. We as somebody done inside 98.1 we come on a do. They go CID, they go explain. What you be the talking inside under. Well, I think say AYV them they not look used to that kind thing day. So then pull press release. Then pull press release. Okay. What did they say? They say AYV they got the attention of one Sludge when a Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. 2. The Independent Media Commission when IMC. And the entire security sector, especially Salone Police. And say because they can arrest Mohammed Khan after we don't talk down. Now AYV wake up Salone. The morning program. Okay. They say Mr. Khan now in the interim chairman for Teachers Solidarity. They say Mr. Khan be there you know. Then AYV now then call him. Say but they come would they invite you as guest but we program na morning. They say, oh, Mr. Khan don't come. He don't be the guest where he get for bid and the program. As he they left, where they gonna do? Outside AYV them premises. Now in Salon Police, Olam. Bakong. So AYV they say, as a private and professional media institution as Salon, AYV want make you know say this thing will be soon. They no mix today, they no mix tomorrow. Not so for say na set up. AYV say not to then set up Mr. Khan. For say come, Salon Police una ain't gonna do, yeah? Who they call and can? Who they come? Who they can chuk and the question? Where done? Where they go now all and back? AYV say no, not to set up. So then they disassociate themselves from the action of Salon Police. And then go look for remind Salon Police say, then work guided and protected by the statute where they inside the Supreme Law. That's not the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone. So because they don't say they don't mix by waiting, Salon Police don't do so to Mr. Khan. Then they ask the security forces for let them tapande, tipini tapande. For they come, where they don't count them guests then done. For they watch the program no more for Suda for arrest. And then they count people in the station for let Salon Police targets them people in there. For say that they can't team up na do. They wait for the front AYV. Say let them come on Monado. They say because if Salon Police they continue for do this, when they invite person for can't talk, then Salon Police can then can arrest the person. Who that go and go there again? He say go in there then walk. And it go infringe the rights of free speech. Where even the 1991 Constitution give rights to we as citizens. They say they want for add this other thing there. For say, AYV seriously concerned about the detain where they go detain Mr. Khan. And Salon Police detain him. They not provide no reason. I don't know, maybe you don't see press release. There, if you don't see and forward on to me. For Salon Police, where they show why make them detain Mr. Khan today. But to the term where AYV release this, the young press release, nothing will not be done. Sabi say Salon Police don't talk. The reason why they arrest them. So AYV they ask, what to? They may don't get warrant for arrest her. Where they be just the for a no now na dole come out. They say, but there anything when Salon Police know about the reason why they arrest them, let them tell we. Because that one they go help for promote law and order. And then they go prevent then kind thing for happen. Just no. Bambai. Like I said, I don't see any press release yet from Salon Police. But if you don't see, please share with me. Salon Police una name they play. Una name they play. Well, what they can do now? Sometimes some man go they say, wetin Mr. Khan go talk so bad? Wait for make the arrest her. Wetin go talk? You want to know to so? All right. Then they call for increase. Another thing them. Now then call for let the government do. Small lomo. Let we listen. Mr. Mohammed Khan, the interim chairperson for Teachers Solidarity, this morning in Lamrana, AYV. Listen to what they say, listen to what they advocate for, and let we see if this warrant an arrest after he left the studio. Let we listen, yeah?
Teachers Solidarity Movement has given a 21 days ultimatum to the government of President Bio to look into their conditions of service. The movement says they are demanding harmonization of salaries, inclusion of all PIN-coded teachers on payroll, payments of school subsidies before the start of any term, lucrative rent allowance of not less than 1 million leones a month, a minimum transport allowance of not less than 1 million leones a month, and a free medical for teachers and their dependents listed in their NACIT updated form. So this morning, to discuss these demands and other issues, we have Mohammed Khan, is the interim chairman, Teachers Solidarity Movement. He's with us in the studio. We're expecting to have Augustine Bami Anthony, communications officer at the Ministry of Senior and Secondary School Education. We're also expecting to have a representative from the Sierra Leone Teachers Union because we extended invitations to all of them. But we have Mr. Khan with us in the studio. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Lamrana, and good morning to the people of Sierra Leone.
Those demands, this is a government that repeatedly they've been saying they've increased salaries of teachers than ever before. You know, they're very committed. The minister keeps saying every other day that this government is very committed to the welfare of teachers. What brings about those demands?
Well, of course, yes, this statement is not a surprise to us because the minister is on record telling the president or the country that teachers are well taken care of, which to us is a mockery. It's provocative on our side. You know, when the government, the president in his maiden speech, the opening of parliament, he promised our profession to be an enviable one and that those teachers who have left the profession for other places of work will envy to come back. But it's the complete opposite we are experiencing these days. You know, first of all, let me start with my colleagues or officials of the ministry that you invited together with us. You know, it is not a burning issue to them. That's why they are not here on time. But because it is a burning issue to me, I'm feeling it. I say, who feels it knows it. You know, that's why I'm here on time to answer to this call. And
but quickly before we move to the other issues, the ministry has repeatedly been saying that they are in engagement with the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. Are you not part of the Sierra Leone Teachers Union? Which other body is this? Because the SLTU is the known body that usually negotiates with governments on conditions of service for teachers.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for that. We did know that the SLTU is the body that has the bargaining power to negotiate on behalf of teachers. And that's more the reason we've engaged with SLTU, right? We put our demands to them for onward submission to the government.
You are not part of SLTU?
We are SLTU. Every teacher in this country that is receiving salary is part of SLTU. As long as they are PIN-coded, they are part of SLTU, right? Either willingly or unwillingly, we are part of SLTU, right? So SLTU, for far too long, have been negotiating for us with government in, government out. But our conditions have not changed, right? So this time around, that's why we said in our message, in our open letter we did to all education stakeholders, including the media, I said, we want to negotiate with government on our own behalf, our very self, not SLT negotiating for us.
Why?
But because we know, I'm coming, but because we know it is only SLT that government listen to, that's why this time around, will decide to collaborate with them to negotiate with. You see, I'm not branding SLT to be a bad body. You understand? I personally know the challenges they do face, right? They may want this, but government will say no.
You don't have trust in them to negotiate on your behalf that you so want
well, this time around, we don't have absolute trust in them to negotiate on our behalf. Because for far too long, they've been negotiating and our conditions haven't changed. So that's the reason. Yeah? This time, we want to be in partner in carrying out the negotiation.
Okay, the ministry in a press statement, the minister clearly mentioned about conditions of service of teachers, how they've increased salaries. So why are you making these demands? Okay. Has that not been reflective in your salaries, the increase?
Well, it is not reflective on our daily living. Yeah? You cannot give me pittance, then you say, I have sufficiently increased the salary of teachers. Now, Lamrana, let's say you've been receiving 700,000 as a basic salary, and they made an increment of 30% of that basic salary. What is the addition to that? 700,000, 30% of it added is something like 210,000. So 210,000 plus 700 is 910. What is 910 these days? So a teacher who's gone to college, has his or her certificate, is in the school teaching, then you pay that teacher less than 1 million. We have teachers that are still paid less than 1 million. Yeah, right? We have teachers who are graduates, we have teachers who are master's holder that are receiving 1,300,000.
But it's progressive. This government has to some extent.
It is in a snail pace.
Yes, but do you appreciate the progress it's taking, you know, to address the conditions of service? Because
no, we don't know.
About the commitments that you're having from them, that they can even tell you, we are committed to this, we're going to do this with time. Isn't that some
honestly to me
commitment?
it's lip service. Honestly to me it's lip service, right? I keep saying this, that if governments, as the minister is on record saying we are the largest workforce, if they believe that we are the largest workforce, okay, now they are paying us pittance, and there are those smaller groups in other MDs paying them huge amounts of money. Okay, those smaller sets that are receiving huge sum, let's harmonize it. Let them come back to our level, you understand? For instance, if you are a master's holder, being a director elsewhere, and you are receiving 10, 15 million as the case may be, and a master's holder in a school is receiving 1,300,000, fine. Bring down that person, that director who is a master's holder is receiving 15 million. Let him receive 1,300,000. So that the remaining of his money, government puts into developmental projects.
Let's make it some data that the minister shared this morning. It says there are about 68,000, over 68,000 teachers in the public schools. Among the public teachers, there are 36,000 on payroll, and from the data, teachers make up 40.3% of the total workforce, nearly half of it. And government has this responsibility and burden to spend in other areas. And we all know the economic situation in the country. Why not, show some understanding? Because I was reading the demands there. You're asking for transport allowance, housing allowance, and other benefits. Why not go step by step and see how it improves progressively?
Well, that's the reason why we say we need a harmonization of our salary, right? Because if you give me 40,000 euros as an allowance for transports, sometimes that amount, you only use it for 1 day or 2 days going to your school and back, right? So for the rest of the week, the weeks, or the other days for the month, you don't have money to go to school, right? And if I don't have transport to go to school, I sit at home. So that also will not help with the quality aspect of the education, right? Fine. So that's why we are asking for this money, because we want to be effective going to our schools, do our work effectively, right? And also for the rent allowance. We said, let us have this 1 million a month, because now for you to live in a decent room and a parlor with an inside toilet, it has to cost you more than 5 million, 6 million a year. Fine. And a room palo can be occupied by a family with just the couple, maybe with a kid. More than that, you need 2 rooms or 3 rooms. So we too are humans. We want to live a decent life, Lamrana.
Do you want all this to be addressed in one go, or you're ready to negotiate, or want SLT to negotiate on your behalf so that it can be progressive? Say we address this first, and we look forward to addressing the other issues.
If it is left with me, I will say I want it at a go. Let all my concerns, my demands be addressed at a go, right? But this is a government, and you are asking. In process of asking, you have to come, you sit and negotiate. You understand? Then you will come to a point where you meet together, and that's what we are yearning for, right? I know we cannot get what we demand, all that we demanded, but we need a reasonable, maybe 70% of what we demanded should be given to us now.
So how far with the negotiation? You say you have sent this request to SLTU to negotiate with the government, right? So how far has it gone? What updates have you received so far? Because you give an ultimatum.
Well, as at yesterday night, I was informed by the acting Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Teachers Union that today they are having an engagement with the ministry and other education stakeholders, right? So far that is it, because we last met on Sunday. So yesterday, Monday, today, Tuesday. So we are looking forward to it.
In the issue where you don't have trust, you mentioned that you don't have that absolute trust on SLT. Would you have wanted to be part of these negotiations?
Well, of course, yes. We want to be part. We want to be part. That's why we told them that let's collaborate, right? Maybe they can invite 1 or 2 of us to be with them when meeting the government, right? So that let them let them hear from us. Let the government hear from us, from the horse's mouth. Maybe they have been hearing from SLT, but they don't take them for granted. They don't believe what they are saying. You see, but if they called us, we sit together, maybe government will take the matter very, very
You're
serious.
making these demands at a time when globally, the economies are crumbling. Even here, we are faced with serious challenges with economic issues, and the government has a lot of other responsibilities to take care of. Is it not unfair on their part that you could have waited on when things get better, or make some of these demands one after the other?
Well, before things get worse, there was a time SLT negotiated for us to have 100, 200% increment and the like, but they did not honor it. Right? They only give us a laughable 30% increment, right? So there is no time we should not act. We should not ask for our concerns.
What do you mean by laughable 30%? Isn't that reflective in your salary that there is 30% increase to your salary?
Of course, yes. Lamrana, as I said, of all that 30% increment, a graduate is receiving 1,250,000. Is that not laughable? Eh? A master's holder is receiving 1,025,000. Is that not laughable? And very recently, we are seeing the government harmonizing the salaries of civil servants from grade 10 down to 9. Eh? And we know the monies that they put to pay them. Those guys will suffer together at universities, right? So we too have the right to live. We have our family. We have our home to take care of. We have our external relationship to manage. All these things. We have bills to pay. Ebo, we are saying, let the government be reasonable enough. Let them come to our rescue. That is all. So therefore, we demand these things.
Okay. And you're ready to negotiate to reach to a time where you might not, go on industrial action?
Well, like I always say, even the reopening of schools, we don't have the power to say schools should not open or schools should open. The ministry that has the power has ordered that schools should open. Fine, we respect that. The only thing, we have our service to render. We sit at home, we don't go to school.
Do you have kids?
And that action, they too have kids. They too have kids. Let them see to our cries.
Can't you teach until the negotiation is done and see what will come out of it?
No, we'll not say until the negotiation is done. We'll not say that. You see, one thing I believe this time around, even our negotiation should be an open negotiation, because we don't even want our membership to think we've been influenced unduly. So therefore, this time around, the negotiation should be open. And when the negotiations started, openly, our membership are observing. We tell them, let's go for work. They will heed to that advice and they will go for work. But if they do close negotiation, where our membership are not preview of what is going on, of what is happening, then they have the chance to even deny our order to go back to school because they will not trust us. The simple reason is...
So as at now, your members are holding on to their service or they are teaching?
No, they are holding on to their service. They are holding on to their service.
So even when, you know, you are speaking with the SLTU, you are asking your members to hold on to their service or waiting to hear from the SLTU?
Well, they hold on to their service until we hear from SLTU.
So as at now, you guys are not teaching?
Of course, yes. That's why I'm here. I should be in my school now, at my school teaching. But that's why I'm here.
So how do you think this will affect? The kids are close to examination, public exams. How do you think this will affect them? They are the victims here.
Well, we can assess them for the past 2 terms to promote them. You can assess them for the past 2 terms. Then we'll promote them to another academic year. It's not a novelty. It has happened.
Aren't you being unfair to them as well? This is in their making. Why
well,
not
it is the government. It is the government force that is unfair to us and to them.
Why not teach them whilst you continue with your negotiations?
No, well, we will teach provided, as I've stated it, right? We will go to school provided the negotiation starts now and in an open platform.
Why not teach them whilst you continue with your negotiations?
No, well, we will teach provided, as I've stated it, right? We will go to school provided the negotiation starts now and in an open platform.
Why not teach them whilst you continue with your...
We go school and teach provided we get an open discussion so that we comping teachers them no go feel to say they don't buy we. That's now wetin Mr. Mohammed Khan talk this morning na AYV. Yeah? After this interview, he was arrested outside AYV premises. Bodia Fambulem. Waiting bad way the man talk. For make then call and leg go explain. For say master degree holder with the inside public service. With the inside government go get 20 times more than waiting the one within a classroom get. If they want for do and let them harmonize all my own by your qualification. Na body talk. For say teacher them back. Then self get bills for pay. Then get teachers them where they receive less than 1 million leones. Less than $85. Na body talk. For say, yes, this morning, teachers union and the government and other stakeholders, then they go talk. But then when they raise the issue, they don't invite them. In for be lek for them at that meeting day. Na body talk. For say, they really want their voice for be heard by the government of Sierra Leone. Na body talk. All waiting a call for. But yeah, like I said, may I not see any press release where Salon police give for the arrest to the arrest them. I don't see you. Maybe you don't see. And not anyone they be invited to. Not anyone. At the end of the day, stepping outside, they arrest her. So I'm gonna ask her and say, but then we don't add 30%. Now make the example say with all the 30% where they add. With all the 30% where they add. Still yet. Teacher day. Where they get 1,250,000. Make a quick actually what they arrest them for. Salon police not pull press release it, but on the interview this do we come on and do the arrest her. Or for say now somebody na SLTU. Now they don't get jittery. Thinking to say, this new movement how then teacher I want form so. He want bring you back na SLTU. So now all you want first we call himself say na interim chairman. Now all and force. Or are the powers that be. Because at the start of the interview, you hear where he say, the minister, they go and make mouth say, the teachers then good. He said the president say, then they make the teachers then job enviable. We mean to say, other people then go on for be teacher. Who don't want to be teacher? Na salute. Some people they say the demands are too much. Then too much. You know how much the Chief Justice they get number for rent allowance? 198 million leones every year. The Chief Justice in rent allowance 198 million leones. Yeah. Is it because when this come out, the Africanist press say this particular money where then they pay 29 judge then rent allowance no more, it go pay 2,395 or 365 secondary school teachers them. So then feel to say now he make one kind way something teacher a gap now can give government say 21 days. They say then they stop saying now for go school, but then they sit on a house. Then they sit on a house. Because now they go school and then provide service. Some of the judge them now 98 million and then they get 98. I think the least person now 73 million in the get. Now rent allowance no more. Then they pay teacher, then say transport allowance 40,000. Not to provoking. No, you talk to no more. 40,000, not to provoking. Well, let that teacher they don't do what allow. Because then in a 1 day money. 1 day money. Because for Matalo for go to you for take a half way till they reach. So then they ask for 1 million. When a fair amount. A fair amount that 1 day. Ask you family with the tongue, how much they pay for transport? Lately, right now, with the increase of fuel price. Okay. Salon. The teacher they don't say then they sit on a house. And not of they just want attention. I don't think say the attention they want to arrest attention no. No. You hear where they repeatedly say they want an open discussion. Then an office say they don't go give them okofe, they don't go chook their hand. Then an open discussion they want. So that all the teachers nationwide go benefit from whatever come out yonder. Is that too much to ask of? So I can't talk to we, but we want to talk to them openly. But when I can get when I say increase 30%, then take a make sing. Eh? Then take a make sing. So if the teacher then call say, well, sometimes then they say 30%, when I feel to say, now this kind of a thing, let me explain you now. With all the 30% increase, people then still there where they get below 1 million loans. With all the 30% increase. The government say 22% of our budget then go per free quality education. They say they not believe the teachers union. Well, no say teachers union politics they inside, eh? Teachers union get politics. Then go deny all they want. And go deny all they want. But politics they inside it. So now I make them the call say, let them talk to them. Teachers solidarity. Then self want better pay. You cannot give them 40,000. Salon everybody na magician. The one who they make the big money na magic. The one who they make nothing where they survive on a daily basis na magic. Eh? When I come up behind the IG in pic. Yeah? The IG in picture na left and so full. But I feel say they're calling for a just call. And they want the government attention. But I not be losing at this way. Not to this way at all. And they address the letter fine with all respect. Even though they say the 30% are laughable increment. And they say the teachers then be disappointed. Then they call for harmonization of salaries. Harmonization of salaries. Teachers will get master. I like it in a classroom. You know, put someone. Now I make everybody they left now one go be politician. One the Yeliba, the Manjalaji, the Vuvuzela. So that when government change, it go come on a classroom, go inside a condition office. Because now they money dey. Lamine say teachers issue not to today. So not talk wetin you no know. Lamine wetin I no know, where you sabi. So if not to today not to the right time for talk. This is what I don't understand though. And this I don't understand. Just like how Lamrana asks Mr. Khan. Say them for taking small force. Why they not wait force? Why not now? Why not now? Who still want for solve Salon problem? Wait, Papa God. Who stay? Not to today. So because not to today, not for talking today. Who still for talking now? Who standing for demand waiting they want? Eh? Masige say, yes, in a be teacher, SLTU, used for ask teacher for go on strike. Yeah. Until politics play inside SLTU. Then SLTU not get the voice again. They not get her. Now in talk say, the minister, they on the record say, they're not able for pay teachers them. Because teachers them too boku. Eh? They not go able pay teachers them. That kind of money where they want. Because then too boku. What did they say? 68,000 teachers? They will show them how they go able to pay them. They will show them. Because boku man they receive money we're not supposed to receive. That's why a lot of time they will delay the free quality education at table layer. It's a good idea, but it was rushed and never planned. You cannot get that good in quality excluding the teachers. Eh? You cannot. You don't go able. But this one then they tell we say the teacher then too boku. So the kind of money the teacher they want and all anything they not go able to give them. But we know how much sooner they pay the political appointees there. They rent, they but we know. We know. So they exorbitant amounts the owner they give on self, owner they pay on self. Now make the wage bill just they go up, they go up. Una able for slice them even at 50% safe. Eh? Una send them to the teacher there. I know a lot of teachers with the Liban and then government there or then political party there. So as governments come inside, they find their way in. Because they have the papers. No one know they eat that kind of money they're supposed to eat. But if teachers say they need an increase, but not bad. Eh? Not bad? Eh? Right. How much the IG they collect? On a wait. African Express go release that. Yeah? But then they say, now this time, they need all teachers for stand up in solidarity and talk truth to power. Then say, waiting good for the goose, boy for good for the gander. And that one didn't say. I say, but if a university graduate, because they get political appointment, they get 20 million leons a month. What's wrong? By the teacher, we get the same qualification. For receive that kind of money day. But instead, the teacher they get 1.3 million leons. 1.3 million. When are the same qualification? No? And the claim say even transport allowance, because now they are nothing. Medical allowance, no the rent allowance, no the what go by what go by allowance. Leave allowance, no the. So then they ask the question, say, wait to. But dear, we the teacher them. We not to Sierra Leoneans them, just like the politicians them, or the civil servants them. Where then they give all them facilities, yeah? This stuff from the press release at the give so at the tip and the waiting that they demand for. Then saying a matter of urgency for harmonize the salary. And all pin coded teachers then for put them a payroll. Then they call for make them pay the school subsidies them before the start of any term. Not so then this year them pay for term we don't done. Then they pay, they release her, but the term ki don't done. So then they say no, una pay the subsidies them before the term be. But that's why for be. But in Sierra Leone, whose institution they? Maybe the president in office, something. Whose institution they na salary they receive? Waiting there for receive before. Now they expect way the audit service go forget thing correct. Go mona. Because most of the time the magic cannot play on before then they give them the money. So now make game can play. Then they call for inclusion of all pin-coded teachers on payroll. Payment of school subsidies before the start of any term. And say, but let themselves get lucrative rent allowance. They say not less than 1 million a month. Then they call for a minimum transport allowance, not less than 1 million a month. Free medical for teachers. And then dependents them. Within at the NACIT form. So then take and say first. So if they give them rent allowance 1 million. Then give them transport 1 million. So then 2 million first. Done. So man the first one they even receive 1 million for all thing we month done. The one they can say then they can come out first. Can come away na can go na 2 million first. And say But then they call on the president for turning attention to them. The life of the teachers them. Then say then life them. And then emergency life support, life of teachers. And so they say inside the press release. Then they know it stay for their untimely death too. They say let them think about them when they're inside classroom. When they cannot write with chalk done. You remember where they go school, Come and clean the board. They can't clean the board. The dust where they come out. You go say, are they still using? Yes, they still use chalk. Chalk. You go say now, bro, until they don't go overseas, so now they feel say chalk bad, it hazardous. It hazardous. But not say on a land book, not to chalk. Front the blackboard now, so yay. And it's indeed hazardous. The teachers then they remind we. Say now then they swallow, then chalk dust then they. If they're not here, then they don't give them 21 days ultimatum, even though they sit down right now. But there is room for negotiation and an open negotiation. Okay. Then we pull the press release, then give them that ultimatum therefore done on the 24th of April. So because they not be talk to them. Now I make it say yesterday net. Now SLTU call and say then they go meeting this morning. So then they get for wait. You know say then they good for that first. Then get for wait say now then step in and hey talk and do. Eh? I mean Albert say, but if then they compare the cost of petrol to the Western world, he say, well, let them do the same now for the teacher their salary. Eh? All right. Anyway, you don't hear him. Ibrahim Stalwart says, Triple A, you won't forget to say Salon a femme for all kind thief, man. Now I make some of the teachers themselves and can do their own classroom. Because they can feel to say, well, usai take out na they eat. But anyway, Mr. Khan, I don't think he talk bad though. I don't know, you see press release? Say they don't left her. Mustafa Kone they ask, what so? They still a use chalk? Papa, they still a user. Eh? They still use chalk. Yeah. Let's come with us friend. Let me hear what did you get for it today? Welcome on board, us friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform. And thanks to all the listeners and viewers. And thanks to the source of the information. Looking at this issue of the arrest of this so-called the teacher, this solidarity movement, I believe say initially what the people then try for miss here is that now something they cry for, but now something they do. On one side, people in the sense now something wrong. But here is the issue wherein they look at the teacher we supposed for lace with the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, and in get a kind of an organization where you don't form, where you stem out of the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. Primarily in here, if you look at in plan, well, just want to approach that way. In plan was because of the efficiency and the effectiveness of the voice way the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, they're not able to give out, whether for so many reasons we will leave for now. He decide for form a kind of a false, or let's say it's not a real, not false as it bad, but something we now like a civil society organization we in call a teacher solidarity. And him been trying to address your issue in the form of for let it go fast track, let time go, and then let them go meet the few demands we then want. But what in the primary thing we initiate was an engagement, was an area wherein they will get a cooperation, and then waiting for them able to foresee the value will be for them come out from that discussion there. But here is the area where the police then they look into a public order act for say the man don't go do something with it against the public order act. And when they look out from that side there, you question again, say the man is speech, you don't play him and you don't show any reasons and you don't show the channel where you go, lambast the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. He explained why he try for fast track because of whatever been on they go on, they fasten and know what in they get feedback from the one who they get those consultation meeting in terms of these things they have to change. So in the try for fast track, I form himself a kind of a false civil society organization, and if you realize say it's legal for let it go do am, because you know in the framework for say you do am for something evil. Now because it dey try to address something when a bad thing, and the effect of that bad thing it dey result to something good what in they do. So in other words, there was something bad in the society where in terms of the life, the way economy, the lifestyle, waiting at them, then you domestic income as people household income for let it go live. So it take an individual, it look up to based on the life one of the daily life when they make them able for reach for achieve their own purpose for being a society. And I what it and for let it go na school for go teach. Let it get transportation, they get food, able for live and get in bills and paid. So you still say that approach there was the good part of it. But because then they say, oh, there is something with them, they say, okay, now when you look, say, now, freedom of speech, guarantee, say, freedom after speech, guarantee the other way around for be arrested. When freedom of speech, guarantee freedom after speech, now you explain so now. So in the freedom of speech, there's no guarantee after that one day. So it's two separate ends. What did the police do? And go say, okay, let me do operation padlock your mouth. Then they hold the padlock, they lock your mouth, they hold the key. Not so you they even give the key. So this is just the practical aspect. But what I try for look at here in three ways we say things and the effect now. The teachers there that they bring up this. Did they get the media where they get this reflection of their own picture? Then of course, the one day when they go delegate this thing now for go arrest, then they put themselves in a picture wherein then they see them as people who they can't stop waiting. That the aim of the president, when he been say publicly say this now in speech a quote, freedom of speech supports good governance. He says President of Sierra Leone. Simple. He said freedom of speech supports good governance. That now what he say, and the African Legal Information Institute give them what he say a fifth among the countries in Africa. But remember, this is only for letting go facilitate and support freedom of expression in terms of paperwork. So here comes now the area where the execution of that paperwork day, where the one day where the governor now own the police, then they try for now, then they come with a different perspective. Where they get many factors who not going to cause all this individual behavior or somebody who don't give them the okay, because whenever those things are executed, the internal affairs is always related to those kind of things. You know, go say, you know, go know, or whether I don't calm the system. But here comes the moral way, now the good moral where the people in get see, then they try to fight for the good of them people, them, for the bad thing what they do. But here is the idea when the psychology with the police are not able for use, because they're not able for just an element what will show say the man he don't violate or they try for get public disorder. In the police, they said public order, that's what is my demand. But public disorder, now you say EC in the speech, so that make it go arrest. Because those are the reasons why they go tell you say them go arrest. But the shame might have delayed or might have ignored or knee-jack will have happened. Because if not a knee-jack, then we will make a press release, then we'll get time for everything for them to do them. But because they will not go and make a repeated statement where some of these words are repeated all the time, and in the end we see they don't get a grip of anything when they try to stop. That they then will delay for go on the media for them will get a press release. Because once the psychology you know look out from a 360 view for them to identify waiting na the risk. We are go think, I no go just move, I no go just go act. I for look at 360, the man he gets something what he don't do. I for try to find out the engagement what he don't do. They are not so in no more, we don't come. The very SLT human we don't come with Sengen and AYV. But because, as I say, the man when I can see say the man in character na a gentleman will get introvert because that day they see where they act people let me see that not to yesterday I mean this recent one so he find out that the man not go able voice out not to because the man not get the character or you know where he said well let we do help these people voice out with opinion. That was all he was doing. But because as I said the human psychology did wherein these people who they get in that area of deliver the area who will need security or will need for them to maintain peace or they do other things there and then they do sometimes overreaction we will call sometimes a wow reaction. People admire say that this happened because people then go they say oh well this didn't happen for long oh well the teacher there then some of them they get them demand this but not to that mind everything up. This is the organization of the teachers that would know say these are the living number not of fake, not for anything. When I try to deal with them, because for say, oh, when the teacher, no, not to them because fake teacher, not to them because demand this. This is the physical body where they try to pronounce, but because you know able for looking from a moral issue, for say looking from that principle of double effect, because in the share in psychology, this double effect, you get the good, you get the bad, they can be explained. That bad day, it not only in the cause, but say let the good not come out. Even when the man they say, okay, well, likely they will arrest me. They arrest me because of something. But yet still, the man, say, plan them for go say, they go do a violent act. But because behind the screen say, then the way I don't so present, the way they don't see how they act, and then I don't put certain cushion, I don't put policies in. Yeah, I don't get any joint development what I will do because the funding what I will able to find day. We all know see there is an economic problem. We all know see the GDP, they go meet up waiting for let them go they pay. But here is a time where in some of these things, then before they address them, before all certain things, then they go. Then careful look at basic salary will not go easy. Start thinking of basic salary, equating it towards the cost of living. And then there are many things where you go solve. But when they identify all these things, say, now before now go negotiate to them, now go get something, now go able for bring come, now go able for support, then you have freedom of expression. So that the way I go support them, they help the image of the media. The media is already at stake. Now you don't bring the program recently, media viability. What if you don't do so, is that going to develop and get a kind of influence the existence, what develop the media? No, because it puts them as a stage where other people can go come, can put investment in that media because that is what the meeting, when they begin days, they call media viability meant for. So then they fear. Because they defend investors, so then we will meet up with the demand of the world, like how Q and like how AYV they meet up so other agents when they do so. But all these are the time for say, they go with a line of what you they plan. You can forget a 360 vision. The 360 vision of the education, you don't remember. Recently, I don't go do a viability thing. I don't go talk. Then the so-called British High Commission, I don't pronounce the fragility of this, that introductory speech. But people don't go understand I speak them because it was short. Because all the other hearing about funding. Because that is what they want for listening for. But the funding is not the issue, it's the area where you identify the fragility. So you can't bring that down. The people then go get that saying. Then you will know what you will look, say, I will know say this, that thing will cause problem. Or I will able to address them by calling that Monday. I call the parties them with concern, and then I try see what's the outcome. Then we go give you a timeline based on waiting now the funding we will get. But I'm not going to go in detail with that. Let them just avoid a wow moment so we will get a kind of terminal assessment where then they assess them, the teacher, how then they go, like how they say grade them, and then the media and then the police, let them can't forget a good relationship. So at the civil servant, they will get less work, and then the citizens then will get for no waiting they need for get from who that they need for us, let's give them. Thank you very much. Let God help our leaders and help our nation. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, we want to say thanks to Usfriend for your submission. We come with Jalo Jamboria. Make we hear waiting in get for we on this issue. Welcome on board, sir. What do you want for share with we?
Before I talk, what you get for talk, I go one let you get small patience with me. And I want to give people them the background about who they be before I talk what you get for talk. Me a professional teacher. I teach in Sierra Leone from 1978 up to 1992. 1990 up to 1992, men have been the vice president of the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. That man we sit down na Ministry of Labor right now. At that time, he was the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, the appointed Secretary General. Before I talk what I get for talk, I get for express them in no uncertain terms say I am disappointed at Alpha Usman Timbo. I'm very much disappointed. If you go see them, they arrest a teacher because he expressed a right to association. Then I am disappointed. He does not have a conscience. Now, let I go to the point. Sierra Leone, a member of the International Labour Organization, and being member of the United Nations and International Labour Organization, we get certain international rules and laws which Sierra Leone don't sign and ratify. Added to that, the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Chapter 2, is clear about the rights of the citizen for organize and for get access to free speech. The idiots them wey sit down dey thief the state money, they not dey molest them. Now teachers them then they molest. I think this has to stop. Convention 87 of the International Labour Organization, it gives every citizen the right for associate or not associate with an organization. And Sierra Leone had ratified that. Next is Convention 98 on the right to collective bargaining. That means everybody where they work, they get right for join an institution where they go arrange for argue but then wages and conditions of service. This also Salombi don't give assent to them. So for make people and grab say, when they ask for improve with condition, they arrest them. I think Sierra Leone is going down the wrong path. And I want to tell all the people them in government system of we they out here, with they monitor them things here. If they create trouble for another country, go back to war. The world they tight for them. I swear to me, Mama, hold on die. The world they tight for them. We'll hunt them anywhere on earth. Because this is going beyond idiocy. People and the thief, would they see people and they do all the rubbish in the state? Nothing they come up behind that. People and they make fake degrees, nothing they come up behind that. All the time the teachers forbid the victims. And one thing they fail to understand is no country not they develop if the educational sector not develop. Free quality education goes with two things: equipment of schools, provision of teaching materials, and secondly, a trained, qualified, and contented teaching service. If you don't have that, then stop talking crap, Mr. President. Stop talking crap. If you want advice, some of us are ready to advise you. Because you don't load the Ministry of Education with people that will not even know the head from the tail. They go all over the place talking crap. They say then they promote education. Some of us have the ability to advise what to do to put Sierra Leone on the right footing. But if people are not know say Salome big past them, some of we get for begin talk because me they talk so. I'm not interested in politics in Sierra Leone, and I'm not going for go beg to nobody. If I go Sierra Leone now, I go do my own business. It's time we begin to say these things as they are. 1990, we closed school from January to May because we were not satisfied and schools were closed all over Sierra Leone. James Bambe Kamara, who was Inspector General, then called us several times. We go before I'm not tell and say, Pa Bambe, we're not open school until we get the conditions met. He said, why are you so recalcitrant? Now ask us, say, Pa Bambe, if they give you 20 leons as holiday allowance, where you don't teach one only, I go glad. He says, that's so? I say, look the documents, sir. That was what changed the whole dynamics. We were not arrested. Over 4 months, we closed schools. Nobody was arrested. The people that were well been they pan this present teachers union. Why now therefore begin make them molest teachers? What has changed? What has changed? Have we lost our conscience? We got to begin to treat Sierra Leone with seriousness. Sierra Leone is bigger than all of us. If I reach there, I go stop this, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. That's na Jalo Jamboria. Na in submission for we today.